Have you ever looked at the coins in your purse and wondered why they aren't more sparkly? It's a rather wonderful thought, isn't it? Imagine paying for a loaf of bread with a coin that has a real diamond twinkling in its centre. The simple answer to this glittering question is no. The United Kingdom has never had diamond coins for everyday general circulation. You won't find them down the back of the sofa, I'm afraid. The coins we use for our daily shopping are made of strong practical metals like steel, nickel and copper. But that simple answer hides a much more fascinating story. The relationship between diamonds and British money is a tale of royalty, power and incredible craftsmanship that stretches back centuries. The story isn't about diamonds being the coins, but rather how the idea of diamonds shaped the world of the monarchy. Diamonds became the ultimate symbol of wealth and divine authority. Kings and queens wanted to project an image of immense power, and what better way to do that than with the hardest, most brilliant stone known to man. This powerful association meant that while diamonds were never practical for money, their magnificent image heavily influenced the designs that appeared on our coins. The crowns, the sceptres and the grand portraits of our monarchs on coins are all part of this long and dazzling history, where the diamond's prestige was borrowed to give our currency a touch of royal magic. So, our journey is not one of finding lost treasure in our pocket money. Instead, it is a historical detective story. We will uncover how diamonds, those precious stones from far-off lands, captured the imagination of the British monarchy. We will see how they became essential props in the theatre of royalty, adorning the crowns and jewels that defined a ruler's status. This story takes us from the ancient Celts, who had their own simple coins, right up to the modern Royal Mint, which has in recent times started to create some very special non-circulating coins that finally unite diamonds and British currency in the most spectacular way. It is a story of symbolism over substance. This exploration will lead us through the grand halls of palaces and the meticulous workshops of the Royal Mint. We'll meet powerful monarchs who used jewels to secure their legacy, and we'll see how the coins they issued were tiny metal messengers spreading their image across the kingdom. The story of why diamonds are not in our everyday coins is really the story of what money is for. It needs to be durable, affordable to make, and easy to use. Diamonds, being rare, expensive, and surprisingly fragile in certain conditions, fail on almost every count. So let's begin our journey into this captivating tale of gems and gold, of kings and coin makers. Long before the Romans arrived, the people of ancient Britain were already making and using their own coins. Around the 2nd century BC, Celtic tribes began to create simple coins, often inspired by the designs they had seen from continental Europe. These early coins were typically made from gold, silver, or a bronze-like alloy. The designs were abstract and beautiful, featuring stylized horses, boars, and the faces of their chieftains. The purpose of these coins was to facilitate trade, pay soldiers, and allow rulers to show off their power and influence. They needed a material that was valuable enough to be accepted, but common enough to produce in large quantities for their economies. Diamonds were completely unknown in ancient Britain. These incredible stones were first discovered in India, and for many centuries that was the only place in the world where they could be found. The trade routes that might have brought such a rare and exotic luxury to the misty shores of Britain were long, dangerous, and not yet fully established. The ancient Britons had their own precious materials, like Cornish tin, which was famous across the ancient world, and gold from the Welsh hills. Their focus was on resources they could find and work with locally. The idea of embedding a tiny, impossibly hard stone from a faraway land into their currency would have been utterly alien to them. Even after the Romans conquered Britain and introduced their own sophisticated system of currency, diamonds remained absent from coinage. The Romans were master engineers and administrators, and their coins were a powerful tool of propaganda. They featured detailed portraits of emperors and depictions of gods and military victories, all struck in gold, silver and bronze. The Romans certainly knew of diamonds. Pliny the Elder wrote about them, describing them as the most valuable of all gemstones. However, they valued them as rare curiosities and talismans, not as materials for making money. Their monetary system was based on the weight and purity of the metal itself. The fundamental principles of coinage, established in these early times, set the stage for centuries to come. A coin's value came from the precious metal it contained, a concept known as intrinsic value. It needed to be meltable, measurable, and consistent. A diamond, on the other hand, has a value based on its individual characteristics, its cut, color, clarity, and carat. Each one is unique, making it impossible to standardize for a monetary system. Furthermore, the technology to cut and shape diamonds simply did not exist. For the Romans and for the Anglo-Saxons who followed them, diamonds were a legend, a myth from the East, not a practical component for the coins that ran their empire and kingdoms. By the time the Tudor dynasty came to power in the late 15th century, diamonds were beginning to arrive in Europe in greater numbers, thanks to improving trade routes with India. They were still incredibly rare and fantastically expensive, reserved for the absolute pinnacle of society, the monarchy. For monarchs like Henry VIII and Elizabeth I, diamonds were not just beautiful decorations. They were potent symbols of power, wealth, and divine favour. Elizabeth I, in particular, understood the power of image. Her famous portraits show her dripping with pearls and jewels, with diamonds sparkling on her dress and in her hair. These gems projected an image of untouchable magnificence and permanence, reinforcing her right to rule. This royal obsession with diamonds, however, did not translate into using them in coins. The coins of the Tudor and Stuart periods were masterpieces of metalwork, featuring increasingly realistic portraits of the monarchs. The famous gold sovereigns and silver shillings were a key part of how the monarch's image was spread throughout the realm and beyond. Every time someone used a coin, they were holding a tiny piece of royal authority in their hand. The designs on these coins often included the royal coat of arms and, most importantly, the crown. It was here, in the of the crown on the coin, that the idea of the diamond was represented, even if the stone itself was absent. The Stuart kings who followed the Tudors continued this tradition. James I and Charles I were great patrons of the arts and amassed fabulous jewellery collections. The political turmoil of the English Civil War saw many of these royal jewels sold off or melted down to fund the conflict, showing that even the most precious items could be turned back into practical money when needed. When the monarchy was restored with Charles II, the crown jewels were remade with even greater splendour, becoming central to the ceremony and pageantry of the court. The diamonds in the new St. Edward's crown and the imperial state crown were symbols of the monarchy's triumphant return and enduring strength. Throughout this entire dramatic period of English history, the purpose of coins remained steadfastly practical. They were made from gold and silver, their value tied to the weight of the precious metal. The thought of placing a diamond, a stone worth many times the value of the coin itself, into circulation would have been absurd. It would be like sticking a banknote to a penny. The diamond's role was symbolic. It enhanced the majesty of the monarch in person, and this majesty was then artistically transferred onto the coins through the engraved portraits and symbols of state, like the diamond-encrusted crown, which every subject could see and recognize. The Georgian era, from the early 18th to the early 19th century, was a time of immense social change, colonial expansion and flourishing arts. For the wealthy elite, it was an age of elegance and extravagance, and diamonds were at the heart of this fashionable world. New diamond mines had been discovered in Brazil, making the stones slightly more accessible, though still exclusively for the super-rich. Georgian jewellery was characterised by its intricate and delicate designs, often created to be worn at candlelit balls where the facets of the diamonds would dance and sparkle. The monarchy, from George I to George IV, continued to use diamonds to project an image of opulent power and stability. The coins of the Georgian period reflected this sense of classical order and authority. The famous cartwheel penny of 1797, for instance, was a huge copper coin designed to be worth its weight in metal. The gold guineas and silver shillings continued to feature the monarch's head, a tradition that became even more standardized. While the kings and queens were adorned with diamonds in their official portraits and court appearances, the coins remained purely functional. The idea of merging the two, placing a precious gem onto a workaday piece of metal, was still unthinkable. The value of the coin lay in its metallic content and its status as legal tender, guaranteed by the king. The value of a diamond lay in its rarity and beauty. The Victorian era marked the zenith of the British Empire, and diamonds became the ultimate symbol of imperial might. The discovery of vast diamond mines in South Africa in the 1860s transformed the gem from an incredible rarity into a cornerstone of imperial wealth. The famous Koh-i-Noor diamond became part of the British Crown jewels and a powerful symbol of Queen Victoria's status as Empress of India. Diamonds were no longer just for monarchs. They became the stone of choice for the engagement rings of the burgeoning middle class, a tradition that continues to this day. Queen Victoria herself was often portrayed as a powerful diamond-wearing matriarch of a global empire. Despite this diamond fever, Victorian coins remained as practical as ever. This was the age of the Industrial Revolution, of engineering and efficiency. The Royal Mint, under the genius of engineers like Isambard Kingdom Brunel, was focused on mass-producing coins that were identical, durable and difficult to forge. The iconic portrait of Queen Victoria, which aged with her on the coinage, was a symbol of consistency and stability. The crown she wore in these portraits was understood to be set with fabulous jewels, but the coins themselves were products of industry, not of a jeweller's workshop. The worlds of industrial currency and aristocratic gems remained entirely separate. For over 1,000 years, the Royal Mint has been responsible for making the United Kingdom's coins. Its primary mission has always been to produce the currency we use every day, the pennies, pounds and shillings that have been the lifeblood of the nation's economy. This focus has always been on practicality, security and durability. The idea of adding a precious stone like a diamond was historically out of the question for all the reasons we have seen. It was too expensive, too difficult to work with, and completely impractical for a circulating coin. For centuries, the Royal Mint was an industrial powerhouse, not a luxury jeweler. However, in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, the role of the Royal Mint began to change. Alongside producing our everyday money, it developed a world-renowned business in creating commemorative and collector coins. These coins are not meant to be spent in shops. They are works of art, crafted from precious metals like gold and platinum to mark special national occasions such as royal weddings, jubilees, or historical anniversaries. This new market for high-end collectibles opened up a world of creative possibilities that had never before been considered for British coinage. The focus shifted from pure functionality to beauty, rarity, and symbolic value. This evolution led to a historic moment in 2018. To celebrate the 65th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II's coronation, the Royal Mint released its first ever coin to be set with a real diamond. This was not a coin for circulation, but an exclusive collector's piece. It was a magnificent kilo gold coin, a true masterpiece of numismatic art. The inclusion of the diamond was deeply symbolic, linking the modern coin directly back to the diamonds in the imperial state crown, which is central to the coronation ceremony. It was the perfect fusion of the Royal Mint's heritage in coin making and the monarchy's long history with these precious stones. Since that groundbreaking release, the Royal Mint has continued to explore the world of luxury collectibles. They have produced a range of exquisite, limited edition coins featuring diamonds and other precious gems. These pieces are aimed at a global market of collectors and investors who appreciate the ultimate in craftsmanship and rarity. For example, to mark the late Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee in 2022, the Mint created some of its most spectacular diamond-set coins ever. These creations finally brought real diamonds and official UK coinage together, but only in the exclusive world of high-value collectibles, keeping the tradition of diamond-free circulating money intact. The Royal Mint is the official producer of the United Kingdom's currency, but it is not the only mint in the world creating spectacular diamond-set coins. The 21st century has seen a surge in the popularity of what are known as numismatic collectibles, and private mints, along with other national mints, have eagerly stepped into this luxury market. These mints often produce coins that celebrate British themes, such as members of the royal family, famous historical figures, or cultural icons. By incorporating diamonds into their designs, they create highly desirable and valuable items for collectors around the globe who are fascinated by British history and pageantry. These unofficial coins are often produced under the authority of smaller Commonwealth nations, such as Tuvalu or the Cook Islands, which allow their national emblem to be used on coins that are then marketed to a global audience. This means you might find a coin celebrating a British royal wedding that is legal tender in a small Pacific Island nation, and it may be exquisitely crafted from pure gold and set with several diamonds. While not official UK coinage, these pieces are very much part of the modern story of diamonds and British-themed currency, showing the immense international appeal of the British monarchy. The designs of these coins are often incredibly elaborate, pushing the boundaries of what is possible in minting technology. Some feature diamonds set directly into the coin's surface to highlight a particular feature, such as the star on a flag or a detail in a royal crown. Others have used innovative techniques like encasing a free-floating diamond within a transparent capsule in the center of the coin, allowing it to move and catch the light. These creations are more like miniature sculptures or pieces of jewelry than traditional coins, designed to be displayed and admired rather than stored in a vault or, heaven forbid, spent. This trend highlights the dual nature of money in the modern world. On one hand, we have the practical everyday coins in our wallets, which are becoming increasingly digital anyway. On the other hand, we have these extraordinary tangible objects of art that use the form of a coin to create something precious and beautiful. While these diamond coins from private or foreign mints are not British in an official sense, they are a direct response to the global fascination with British heritage. They cleverly tap into the centuries-old association between diamonds and royalty, finally making the fantasy of a diamond coin a reality, albeit for a very select audience. So, after this grand journey through history, we return to our original question. Why are there no diamonds in the coins we use every day? The final answer is a blend of simple economics, practical science, and security. Firstly, the cost is the most obvious barrier. A single tiny diamond, even a low-quality one, would be worth far more than the face value of any coin it was set in. A £1 coin with a diamond would cost hundreds of pounds to produce, making it completely nonsensical as a tool for commerce. It would be an invitation for people to immediately remove the diamond, destroying the coin in the process. Secondly, there is the issue of durability. We think of diamonds as being the hardest substance on Earth, which is true. They are incredibly resistant to scratching. However, they are also brittle. A sharp, well-aimed knock can cause a diamond to chip, fracture, or even shatter. Now imagine millions of these coins jangling in pockets, being dropped on pavements and rattling through vending machines and coin counters. The diamonds would quickly become damaged, diminishing their value and ruining the appearance of the coin. The metals used for our currency, like cupro, nickel and steel, are chosen for their toughness and ability to withstand the rough and tumble of daily use. Thirdly, creating such a coin would be a security nightmare. How could you tell if the diamond was real? Forgers would have a field day, producing coins with cheap imitations like glass or cubic zirconia. Every shopkeeper would need to be a trained gemologist to verify the money they were accepting. This would completely undermine the trust that is essential for any currency system to work. Money must be uniform and easily verifiable. The complex security features on modern coins, like micro-lettering and latent images, are designed to be hard to copy but easy to recognize, a balance that would be impossible to achieve with gemstones. Looking to the future, it is safe to say that we will not be seeing diamond-set coins for general circulation. The world is moving towards digital payments, and physical cash is becoming less common for large transactions. The role of coins is solidifying as a medium for small, everyday purchases. However, the future of the luxury collector coin is brighter than ever. We can expect the Royal Mint and others to continue creating even more spectacular and innovative diamond-set masterpieces. So, while diamonds will never be part of our everyday financial lives, they will continue to play their historic role as symbols of ultimate luxury, forever linked to the story of our nation and its monarchy, captured in these stunning modern-day treasures.